Welcome to DIYeasycrafts. Today we're going to be doing part 2 of building a flat bottom tunnel hull Garvey skiff. Now this is the hull. I'm actually building it upside down. This is a very rough model I made. But the principles behind how I'm going to make this skiff, we made a temporary frame, and that's what we did in part 1 of this video series. In part 2 we're going to skin that frame. So we're going to attach core material. Coosa Board, which is a fiberglass replacement for plywood. It'll hold screws, etc. And a very lightweight honeycomb core material. Wherever these mount up to the frame, I'm going to temporarily mount them with screws. After that, I'm going to bevel all of the hard edges. If it's an inside edge, I'll have to fill it with putty and make that a smooth transition. And then I'm going to have to run tabs of fiberglass to hold everything in position. Then go back, remove all of those temporary screws, and then fiberglass in between the tabs. Eventually, we want to be able to lift this whole hull off of that wooden frame. So there's going to be no wood in this boat at all. The entire frame structure you saw in video number 1 is all going to be left on the stand. And we're going to end up with just this shell. And then after we flip it, I'm going to have to finish the whole interior. So anyway, stay tuned. So I'm going to start skinning the frame by cutting a couple of pieces of the Coosa board. Now Coosa is a fiberglass replacement for plywood. It's lightweight, it's strong, it's water resistant. Basically it'll never rot. I'm going to screw this down onto that temporary frame. The most important part here is that has to be square to the transom. You know, you're going to base the whole boat's performance on this being square. So really take your time and make sure that both of those pieces are absolutely square. What I ended up doing was using one of those little laser levels in the evening and just ran lines down just to make sure, as well as a big T-square. I'm going to start skinning the sides. And for that, I'm using a honeycomb material. It's a very flexible, easy to cut material. You just cut it with a razor knife. Kind of cuts like sheetrock. You know, you score one side, flip it, fold it, and just run your blade down the corner. That, once you fiberglass it on both sides, becomes very rigid and will hold the edge. The one thing about it is that the ends are not smooth, so that you really have to either fill in all those little grooves with putty, or you have to have it so that it's capped by the Coosa board. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to screw that in place onto the temporary frame, and the top of it is capped by the floor Coosa board, and the back end is capped by the transom. This project is just done in small pieces. Yeah, I work full time, so I come home from work, I'll spend an hour on the project. Here I'm just cutting pieces. I'm showing you how that Coosa board ends up getting capped by the transom. So the transom is made out of 2 pieces of 3/4 Coosa. The hull, or the bottom of the hull, is made out of a thickness of 3/8. I went for the 3/8 just because it's a little flexible, and I can curve it up for the bow section. The skin is just being held in place with screws. These are temporary screws. It only has to hold it in place long enough for me to get some fiberglass tabs in place. Small pieces of fiberglass. Then the fiberglass will hold everything together, and I can remove those screws. It's not important while you're cutting the honeycomb, but whenever you're cutting the Coosa board or working with it, definitely highly recommended, almost mandatory, to wear a respirator. You know, because you really don't want to breathe in any of that fiberglass dust. So I'm just filling in the voids. Now I'm going to chamfer the hard corner. Fiberglass just does not run over a 90-degree angle. It's very, very difficult or impossible. So I'm using an angle grinder with a flap sanding wheel just to kind of cut a 45. And then I go back over it with an oscillating sander with an 80 grit paper. And this, I just round over that edge, that 45. Very quick process. And that will make the fiberglassing much easier because it'll just flow right over that now curved corner. I'm using some fiberglass putty. This is the Bondo short strand fiberglass putty. I actually found this at Home Depot. And I'm going to just fill in any gaps. You really don't want an air pocket or a little gap underneath where you're going to fiberglass. You want that fiberglass to be able to adhere either to the Coosa board or to the core, the honeycomb core. And if there's any gaps, you want to fill it with putty. Now, of course, I'm going to have to wait for this putty to dry. And then I'll go back and sand it smooth. You want a nice, clean, smooth surface before you start applying the glass. Again, the oscillating sander, 80 grit paper. And if you see on the deck there, I've cut a whole bunch of small pieces of matte glass. And those are going to be the fiberglass tabs that are going to hold this whole skin sections together so that it'll then allow me to remove the temporary screws and then, do a complete fiberglassing on all of the joints. Now, when I fiberglass, I wet both surfaces. What I mean by that is the core material that I'm going to lay it down to, and I also wet the glass itself, especially when you're going around bends. Then you put the wet side down, and you work it right around that corner. And you'll see if there's a little air pocket. If there's an air pocket, usually it's on the corner. You can apply a little bit more resin. You can work it back and forth. They make a tool that you can use to kind of grind or cut into the glass. But with the mat, it's not usually too much of an issue. This takes a corner pretty easily, especially if you've rounded it over. And I've got to do that for the whole storage section, which I've already skinned. And as that's drying, I'm going to continue to work my way forward. So I've cut another piece of Coosa board, and I'm going to temporarily screw that in place. This is the one that's going to make the bend for the bow section. So I screwed it in place, front and back, and then from underneath, I cut a piece of 2x6 just to the angle, to the curvature that I wanted, and then secured the Coosa to that temporarily just with a screw. Now, of course, once I remove these screws, I have to fill each one of those holes. Not very difficult at all. You just put some putty in there, and then you let it glass over everything. The finished product is going to get glassed not only with the matte, but also 1708, and then another coating of matte. I'll cover really the fiberglassing on another video. Here I'm just filling in pieces and moving forward. If I don't have framework underneath, I can put a couple of little nailers, just a short board that I screw into from underneath, and it keeps all of the pieces of Coosa level. And Coosa, I think I mentioned it before, you can cut it with a jigsaw, a circular saw, a table saw. Just whenever you're working with it, wear a respirator. Probably be smart to wear gloves too, because you can get fiberglass splinters from it. Now, when I'm cutting the curvature of the bow on the honeycomb material, I just used a black magic marker and traced the outline on the outside of the hull. And then I took 3/8 of an inch off of that line and then cut it out with a razor knife. So after I'm finished with the port and starboard sides, I'll then move on to the tunnel section. I have to fill not only the flat of the tunnel, but also both sides of the tunnel. I have to ground the corner, round off the corner, the whole 9 yards. Now, my son, Christopher, didn't like the hard edges on the bow, the corners. And he's right. It would look better curved. So I took a little bit of the bow apart, and I'm just going to remake it out of the honeycomb material. You know, I want this to be a skiff that I'm going to use for years and years, and I really want to like the finished product. So I have to be willing to make some changes along the way and adaptations along the way. This honeycomb material is very flexible. So I've secured it at the top just with a couple of nailers. And I'm going to secure the bottom of it to that temporary frame just with a couple of screws. Now I want to make bends coming in from the port and starboard side also. Now if I had thought of this earlier, I would have made the original honeycomb pieces just longer and bent them, but of course hindsight. So I'm just going to cut out a section of the original port and starboard side. And then I'll put a nailer or a piece of wood behind that I can screw to. Screw the new section on, and then just kind of form fit it to the curvature that I want. And I'm going to have to make a couple of cuts, almost like a V-notch up at the bend. It's almost like working with a really thick plastic cardboard material. And you don't really appreciate it until you start to put fiberglass on it. And once you put fiberglass, even once you coat one side, it really stiffens up greatly. And once you put fiberglass on both sides, you could walk on it without bending it. It becomes very strong. So now I've made the bend that I want. I'm just going to remove the honeycomb material from the bow section so that this new one will fit in its place. I'll make the curvature. I'll screw it temporarily to that frame, and then I will have to fill some voids with putty, and there'll be a little body work to smooth everything out once I start fiberglassing. But I'll get it all held together with screws, then held together with fiberglass, then I'll fill it with putty and kind of carve it down with the angle grinder and the flap sanding wheel. And the end result will be a nice smooth finish. You see my nailers are still in place. So with that done, and I'm pretty happy with the bow section now, I'm going to continue skinning the tunnel hull section. So I'm putting the flooring down. I'm going to cut that to length. I wasn't sure if I was going to overlap that on the inside of the boat, but I ended up just, cutting it to butt end up against the Coosa board. That's going to sit on top of the temporary framing. It's going to butt right up against the Coosa board. Now, the Coosa is 3/8. The honeycomb material is 1/2 inch. So I did put a nailer there to keep the top surface level. And once I flip this hull over, I'll fill in any voids and fiberglass from the other side. What I'm doing now is just cutting out the side panels for the tunnel section. So I've scribed it. And then I'm going to subtract the thickness of the Coosa board, which is 3/8. I'm just using a short leftover piece that I had. I'll make the mark 3/8 in from the scribed line. And then I'll cut that, and that'll be my side panel for the tunnel. And then each of these pieces is going to get screwed on with temporary screws, then held together with tabs of fiberglass. Then those screws removed, the screw holes filled, all of the joints filled with putty and fiberglass. And then once that's all held in place just with fiberglass and the screws removed, I'm going to go back over everything with fiberglass. So this is really just the core material is really just holding the shape of the boat that I want. And now I'm just filling in the corner, and I'm going to smooth that out and round it over as much as possible to make a smooth transition from the flat to the vertical. And on the next video, we're going to fiberglass all surfaces of this hull. As I mentioned a few times, this is going to be a fairly long project. It's going to be spread out over a few months. But each one of these steps really moves it along nicely. By all means, please like and subscribe to this video to check out the whole process. Quick cleanup. You want to save as much as possible. We want to get rid of the roller itself, but keep the handle. So to prevent that from getting all hardened up with fiberglass resin, we're just going to throw it in a bucket with some acetone. And that will clean up all of the tools and the handles. Thank you very much for watching, and like and subscribe to see the rest of the project. Thank you.